Okay, morning all. Here are a few hints on changing the subject of a formula. If you have a formula, V equals U plus AT, V is counted as the subject. The subject of that formula is V. The question might ask you, make A the subject of the formula. So we want to put A onto this side, and it would work out as A would equal V minus U divided by T. And I will show you how we did that. Okay, we can start off with a simple formula such as y equals x minus 8. And the question would be, make x the subject of the formula. At the moment, y is the subject of the formula. But if I add 8 to both sides, the minus 8 will disappear from that side and will appear on this side. So it would be y plus 8 equals x, which we can write as x equals y plus 8. Both the same, but x is now the subject of the formula. So we have changed it from y to x. If we had an equation y equals 4x plus 6, and the question said, please make x the subject of the formula. So we need to get x on its own on this side. We do it the same as we do in equations. The same rules apply. Whatever you do to one side, you do to the other. And to get x on its own, or to get x on its own, we need to do the inverse operations. So the first thing I'm going to do to this side, we're trying to get x on its own, remember, is take away 6 from both sides. If I take away 6 from both sides, I'm left with y take away 6 is equal to 4x. I now want x on its own. To get rid of that 4, at the moment it's 4 times x. So to get rid of it, we do the inverse operation, we divide by 4. So if I divide that side by 4, the 4 will disappear, but I've got to divide this side by 4. So it's y minus 6, all divided by 4 is equal to x. So we have now made x the subject of the formula. If we want to put x on this side, we just turn it round. X is equal to y minus 6 divided by 4. We have now made x the subject of the formula. Okay, one last one on a similar vein. Let me just wipe that. Okay, we might have a question like y equals s multiplied by t minus u. Okay, now they are all unknowns, and it might say to you, make t the subject of the formula. So at the moment, y is the subject of the formula, but we want t to be the subject of the formula. First thing we do, multiply out your brackets. So y is going to equal s times t, take away, multiply the s by the u, s times u. Here's our t. We're trying to get this on its own. So the first thing we can do is get rid of the su from this side. Because it's taking away su, we need to add su to both sides. So it's y, add su, will now leave st on that side. S times t there, so we want t on its own, so we divide both sides by s. If I divide both sides by s, that's divided by s, that's divided by s, the s's will cancel out and we're left with t. So from that we've got t is equal to y plus su divided by s. Okay, so t is equal to y plus su all divided by s, and that is your answer. Okay, so key to it, if you've got that, multiply the brackets out. We then need to make sure what we want the subject to be on their own. We might need to do 1, 2 or 3 operations first. To get the subject on its own, we need to do inverse operations. So in this case we've added su and then we divided by s because s was multiplied by t. I hope that helps.